Hello, welcome to our very first live broadcast. Yeah, I did this morning and I didn't do it right, so I'm actually learning how to do this thing as we go. So we're here at the Beehive, the wonderful Beehive, and thank you for joining us, the bumblebees, and we like bumblebees. And we're just here at the Beehive testing out this system. We're just learning all about it, and it's going to take some time, and we're going to do it. We're going to do that. So we're going to go ahead and hopefully it's working this time. Please work, please. Anyways, hope everyone's doing well, and we have a Christmas tree at the Beehive. So we want to wish you and your family a very happy and Merry Christmas from the Bumblebee and the Hive. And we're just hanging out here today, and we got the studio done. I did a couple of blogs about the studio. We're like remodeling it, but today, no remodel. So it's very good, very good. And we're just gonna go ahead and talk about a couple things and just check out the system. We're doing a test. So hopefully just bear in mind, our equipment's not exactly perfect. So I hope it's working. And today we're gonna go ahead and answer a question. We're gonna do a question and answer. A couple of friends on Facebook went ahead and asked me some questions to answer. So I'm gonna go ahead and answer those questions. And first one was a lady by the name of April in Ohio. We like Ohio. It snowed last week in Ohio, and it's very cold in Ohio. But she asked me, like, what was my favorite video, that vlog that I made? Because I made like 1,100 vlogs, a lot of vlogs. And she asked me, like, what vlog did you like doing the most? And I'm like, I like all of them. So, but there's a few I like. I mean, it's just each vlog is so different and makes it kind of fun. There's just a uniqueness. As you know by my channel, I don't just do one thing. I do like different topics. I have a series called Mysterious Places and Events. And I do like weird stories, you know, and different things like that, just to make it a little bit spicy, because just doing speedway all the time, maybe you get a little bored of it. So I'm trying to like have a little variety. I live near an island, the most beautiful island in the Philippines and in the world. It's called Boracay. And it's one of the best beaches in the world. So I do a lot of blogging on the island and what's going on the island, and also just the speedway too. My favorite is actually the speedway, but I do a lot of blogging about the island, and I have a bumblebee motorcycle. I ride motorcycles every day of my life. I'm on a bike every day. There isn't a day gone by that I'm not on a bike many, many times a day. So I like a motorcycle. And, you know, maybe one day if I get back to the United States during the speedway season, I can get under that bumblebee uniform. It still fits me. Maybe spin a few laps. Can't promise I'm going to win every main event, but hey, who knows? Maybe. No, I'm not, just joking. I'm out of shape. But last time I went there in 2012, I hadn't raced in like 5 years. I had a brand new bike thanks to Stu Agley. He let me borrow his bike. And he was really cool. I mean, if it wasn't for Stu, I'd be screwed. And I went ahead and my family was mad at me. They were like, you can't ride. And even like the wonderful Oxley family, they told me like, just sit in the stands and drink Cokes and say like, I used to be a speedway rider. My name's the Bumblebee. And I said, no, I'm going to race. I don't want to sit in the stands and like brag, you know, like, I'm the Bumblebee. No, I want to get out there and do it, you know. So I went ahead and got a bike from Stu and went out there and had a good night. There was 20 riders in the support class. 20 riders, 20! I had ridden a bike for 5 years, no practice, Nothing. A fresh bike. I forgot the gearing kind of a little bit at Costa Mesa. And I went out there and I placed second in the main event. Out of 20 riders, I got second place. And that was pretty good. I could have won that thing if I had changed the gearing, but I didn't. I was lazy or something. But forget about that. Anyways, a question from April in Ohio. She said, like, what's your favorite vlog? We're going to get back to that one. And I like a lot of them, but you know, one of the fun things I've done with two guys, I really like Bruce Penhall and Mike Bass. I just finished a whole series on Mike Bass, a whole series, and he was really fun. You know, I raced Mike a couple times, 3 times, 4 times in my life, and it wasn't that much, but it was pretty cool. And he's just a fantastic rider, and he was just amazing. He was like scary. He was so good. And then Bruce Penhall, I raced him when he was young. The young Bruce Penhall, he was still good. You know, Bruce Penhall was born a natural speedway rider. I mean, that guy just hauled. But when Bruce got on the track, you better have your A game together or you're screwed. I mean, it's just, the guy was just like crazy fast. I have an itch on my face. Hold on. Ah, okay, there we go. So Bruce was really fun. And I've always been like, amazed by Bruce's skills and Michael Bass. They're both very good. They were very good. So they've been kind of like some of my idols when I was growing up. And Bruce ended up becoming a world champion and a 2-time United States champion. And Michael Bass won like 7 United States championships in the 70s. I did the blog on that guy. He won 7 out of 10 United States championships in the 70s. So in one decade, they have 10 years, right? A decade is 10 years. Michael Bass won 7, and his brother, Steve, won 1, so that's 8. And Rick Woods won the other 2 in 70 and 72, but it was just amazing. I mean, that was the decade of the Bass brothers and Michael Bass. So you have to just really idolize these guys. And a lot of times today, people don't even see what Michael Bass did, or they go online and they don't see anything about Michael Bass. This one guy wrote me and he said, "Thank you so much, Brian." And I'm like, "For what? What did I do?" He said, "You exposed Michael Bass on YouTube, and Michael Bass didn't have hardly anything on YouTube until you come along." And I said, "Oh, very good." I mean, talk about honoring somebody. Talk about being humble and honoring one of the greatest riders to ever live on the earth, Michael Bass. So it was an honor to go ahead and blog Michael Bass. And I did a 4-part series. It just was last week. I was exhausted. You know, when I raced Mike, I had to give it everything I had. And when I raced Bruce Penhall, I had to do the same. I had to give it everything I had. These guys are just legends. And it's just almost impossible to beat these guys unless you give it everything you have. And so it was really an honor for me to race them, and it was an honor for me to blog them. But Bruce Penhall was really a fun guy to blog. I mean, Bruce Penhall, just an amazing guy. You know, he was born a world champion. I really believe that. You know, I sponsored a few riders in Division 1 before, and I saw what it takes to be a champion. I was never a world champion. But a world champion is a very special human being. He's a special rider. It's kind of like you just see people like when they get ready for a national championship, you know that these people are like in it to win it. You know they're really going for it. And then you see some of them, they're kind of scared. They're like, "Yeah, I'm going to win. I'm going to win." No, you're not going to. You got to be in it to win it. And Bruce Penhall, Mike Bass, these kind of guys, all the world champions since like we've seen, these guys are special. So it's really fun to blog these guys. Ole Olsen was one that I blogged. He was really amazing. Barry Briggs, Ivan Major. These guys are sensational. Ronnie Moore. These guys are amazing, and they're very special. So when you get a chance to blog like a world champion, it's really special. These guys are awesome. So it's kind of an honor to go ahead and like talk about these guys because they're really special. So being a world champion, I think is really special. You're not a normal rider. You're like very special. So that's one of the reasons why I like Bruce Penhall so much and all the world champions, because they are special. So Bruce Penhall was fun. Maybe one day I will get a chance to like blog or do a live interview with Bruce Penhall. And I would like to kind of probe into his like early days, like what made him who he was. That would be cool, Lots of people, they do interviews on Bruce. I've seen most of them, I think, or at least some of them. And they talk about like his days at Cradley Heath and as a heathen. Bruce Penhall was no heathen. Yes, he was. He was a heathen. And they talk about those days. And, Bruce Penhall, he had a lot of maturing, a lot of developing to become a world champion. And that would be really cool to like talk to Bruce Penhall and to ask him like, what made you who you were, Because a lot of times when we do interviews, we talk about, all of his accomplishments, his run-in with Carter, in the 1982 World Championship, and these are things that Bruce Penhall probably like tired of answering, and it's a whole nother story, but it would be really cool to kind of find out what makes these guys tick, what made them a world champion. That's amazing. I mean, these guys are so special. And as a speedway rider, I get a chance to like understand, what it takes to really be good. I wanted to be a United States Speedway champion when I was in high school, but I never thought about being a world champion. That was just like way beyond me. So in order to be a world champion, that really is special. I mean, think of all the thousands of speedway riders there are in the world. There's really like a lot of them. And then there's one world champion. So it's just not a normal guy that becomes a world champion. It's a very special person. So that's really cool. And Bruce Penhall was the first world champion since Jack Milne did it in 1937. So the guy is special. And not only did Bruce Penhall do it in 1981, he did it in 1982. Back-to-back world championships. And he won back-to-back United States championships. Bruce Penhall was on fire, and 1981 was really Bruce Penhall's amazing year. Bruce was so good, and like I say, I raced Bruce Penhall a few times, and he beat me. I have some vlogs on that. You can probably see it. But I raced Bruce Penhall my first race, my first D1 race on the 0-yard line, and Bruce was on like the 40 or 50. And Bruce, I was like, oh my God. I told you, like, every time I raced in D1, I'd open the program and everyone was like, Bruce the Fox Penhall. And I'm like, God, can't I just ride somebody like Michael Bass? No, I don't want to ride Michael Bass. And my first race, I was like winning the whole race. It was a handicap. I was on like the 0, so I was cheating. And Bruce was back there, way back there. And I went ahead and I bobbled on the turn 3 and 4 on the last turn of the last lap. And Bruce Penhall like, wow! He beat me by like that much. He beat me by just inches. I was so mad. But then I looked at him and I said, well, it's Bruce Penhall. So that was my first race with Bruce Penhall. He went ahead and nipped me at the finish line. But that's no disgrace to be nipped by Bruce Penhall. Look what he did to Ole Olsen in that World Championship. He nipped him at the finish line on Heat 7. I believe it was the 1981 World Championship at Wembley Stadium. The last event at Wembley Stadium in 1981 in front of 92,500 screaming fans. I don't know how many were screaming for Bruce the Fox Penhall, but I'm sure there was a lot of people. And so it was pretty exciting. But like I say, talking about world champions, it's really amazing. And those people are special. You really kind of need to honor these people, all of them. Not just Bruce Penhall, but, every one of them. Greg Hancock, Billy Hamill, Sam Ermolenko, and all these guys. I mean, they're really amazing riders. So we should really have some respect for them. They're kind of like Speedway legends. So they're very famous and they're very special people. And of course, we should have the utmost respect an honor for these guys because they're really great. And so being a world champion is very special. Being a United States champion is pretty dang special too. And like I say, I sponsored some guys and I saw, you know, some of these guys just aren't going to ever be United States champions because there's, what, 16 riders and there's one champion? I mean, that's hard. I raced in a few of these kind of races in different divisions and different nights, championship races. And, you know, it's hard to be number one out of 16 top riders. I mean, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. So I didn't win a lot of those kind of meets, though. I have to admit, you know, sometimes I got a little psyched out because I was not really like a world championship quality rider. I was pretty good on certain nights, but I wasn't really like Bruce Penhall or whatever, but they were good. One of my friends, Larry Costa, you remember Larry Costa? Larry Costa, number 301 in the yellow and dark blue yellow leathers. I raced him in San Diego. Larry Costa, that's a whole new story. Here's my, oh, where is it? Here, Larry. This is the cup that Larry Costa's dad donated. He passed away. Rest in peace, Mr. Costa. He's a very wonderful man. And every night before the races, this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful cup was sitting at the sign-up booth. And it was for the King of the Hill match race champion. And every week I would go and I would look at it and I would say like, I like that cup. I want to get that one. So we had what was called a match race champion. We had the King of the Hill was the winner and the challenger was a new guy that would come. And at the end of the year, they had the top 3 kings and I was one of them. I was number 2 because I had left a few weeks and I'd gone to Bakersfield on Saturday night, raced at the Bakersfield track, won a few mains, by the way, and then came back and raced for this cup. And I ended up beating Larry Costa. His dad donated it, so I felt bad. I like knocked the guy whose dad donated the cup, and he's passed away. Like I say, rest in peace, Mr. Costa. He was a really nice guy too, Mr. Costa, and Larry's a nice guy too. So I went ahead and I raced Brad Oxley, for this cup. It was me against Brad. Brad was number 1 in points. I was number 2. It was the best 2 out of 3 wins. Wins this beautiful cup. And I got pretty lucky and I beat Brad. I was kind of a jerk when I was like a kid. I must admit. I was like on the announcer's booth like, yeah, I'm going to beat Brad Oxley. I was like, and Brad Oxley's eyes will pop out as Papa. George Wynn, rest in peace, was his mechanic. And I just said, I'm going to take this cup. And I got it. It's with me for like all these years. The King of the Hill match race champion. It was the end of the year. The top 3 riders. And Larry Costa, me, and Brad Oxley. And I took home the bacon here. So anyway, so that's that. But so Brad Oxley went ahead, even though I beat Brad Oxley in his first championship. It was my first championship. It was only age 17. And Brad was the same age. We're both 17. Brad went on to win 2 United States championships. Brad was an amazing rider. I mean, to beat Brad was like, you know, hard to do. Brad was a great rider, and so was Larry Costa. And so we'll talk more about that. But anyways, those were some good old days that we had racing speedway at San Diego. We went all the way down to San Diego. It was Otay Mesa by the border. We would look and we'd see like the Mexican people jumping the fence as they were entering the United States. They were running with their families, like hiding in the bushes. So I was like, forget that. So anyway, that's another story. So yeah, we're just here at the Beehive. I hope you're enjoying my stories. I have like a million stories, but I'm just telling you a few, and I hope I don't bore you. Put you to sleep. We say in the Philippines, I'm in the Philippines now, nakakapagod. Nakakapagod. You know that word, nakakapagod? That means, no, I'm just joking. So, anyway, so we're just here at this wonderful bumblebee hive. And I want to thank the bees. You are the bees for coming and enjoying this. And we're just having a great time today, and we hope you're having a good time too. We have so much more to talk about. This is just the first live stream, and we're just having a good time here. I don't even know if it's going to work, so let's pray. Like, come on, let's pray. No, hopefully it will work. I had to call the support line and like talk to them for an hour, trying to, hey, how do I get this thing to work? So anyways, we're just having fun, and hope you're doing well. And let's see, what else was I going to say? We talked about the blogs, Michael Bass and Bruce Penhall. Probably my fun one was talking about Bruce Penhall. I really enjoyed talking about him. I like talking about him at the Balboa Beach, the Balboa Pier. You know that one? Do you know the Balboa Beach? Do you? I know that one. And it's really cool. My home beach is like Newport and Balboa my whole life. I used to hitchhike when I was like 10 years old. I used to like, hey, take me to the beach. And people I didn't even know would pick me up on the Chapman Avenue entrance to go to the beach. And I would just go there all day, then hitchhike home. It's crazy. I would never do that. And then also I'd ride my rollerblades, sometimes my bicycle. I would go there and ride. So that beach that Bruce Penhall hung out at was like my home beach. Newport Beach, Balboa Beach. It's a really beautiful area. Bruce Penhall grew up in just an amazing area. It's my favorite. It's my home beach too. It's Bruce's home beach. He lived there, but I didn't live there. And so it's really a great place to live and to go out and hang out. And Bruce used to ride his bicycles with Dennis Segalos. See, Dennis Segalos. I like that guy. And those guys were cool. Can you imagine Dennis Segalos and Bruce Penhall as little kids? Oh my gosh, they were like rugrats, you know. They were just like making trouble. You know, they were running old ladies over on the boardwalk, making speedway on the sand. And, I like that one. So those guys were pretty cool. And they were just probably really troublemakers, so that's pretty cool. I'm sure those guys got in lots of trouble. But that blog about Bruce Penhall and Dennis Segalos was pretty fun. And I could just picture him running some little old lady over on the pier like, watch out, old lady. Smashing some 90-year-old lady over, you know, like, I'm Bruce Penhall, I'm going to be the future world champion, you know. Oh my God, that's crazy. So I was a little kid too, so I would probably do the same thing. So I have my own kids speedway stories, but Bruce Penhall and Dennis Segalos, that was really fun because I could relate to those guys because I was just like them, you know, like having fun doing stuff like that. So anyway, so that was pretty much that. And those are some of my fun blogs, but we'll talk about more. But hopefully we can do some question and answer. I don't have my thing set up here yet to do that. I want to do that. I want to be able to answer some questions you have. And it'd be really fun, you know, to go ahead and answer any questions. And I had a few questions, like I say, from April in Ohio. And I hope I answered those for you, April. She's a really nice gal. And she's always like, all over my profile on Facebook and in the YouTube, and she's liking everything. And yeah, nice. So thank you so much. I have some really great friends, and I really appreciate you guys, and just really, you know, appreciate, you know, the goodness of you guys. And I have good people. A lot of my people who are not good, they're not here no more. So I keep only the good people around. And also with you, the bees. You're in the beehive, so you gotta be good. So thank you so much for joining us today at the first live stream. I can't believe I'm doing this. Like, what the heck are you doing? And so it's fun. I didn't do my blog today because I was like trying to set up this live stream thing. So this is gonna be my blog if it works. We don't know. So we'll check this one out. So we really appreciate you joining the live stream at the Beehive. You are at the Beehive. So it's pretty fun. So appreciate it. And I hope you're doing well. Christmas is coming in just a few more days. I hope you got your Christmas shopping done. We got our tree up and we're just having, you know, a pretty good time. And So I got some gifts coming from Santa. He's delivering in a few days. I'll have to show you that one. Santa's going to bring me an early Christmas present. I like that one. When I was a kid, I told my mom, I don't believe in Santa Claus. And my mom said, really? And I said, yeah, I don't believe in Santa Claus. I think it's fake. And my mom says, okay, Santa won't bring you any presents. If you don't believe in Santa, no presents. And I said, I believe in Santa. So since that day that my mom taught me that if you don't believe in Santa, you get no presents, I like Santa. So Santa's pretty cool. And Santa brought me my first motorcycle, my 1918 Yamaha Mini Enduro, my yellow and black bumblebee color Mini Enduro. It's really cool. So I believe in Santa. So I wish you guys well. I hope Santa brings you lots and lots of presents. Maybe a speedway bike. Wouldn't that be cool? I like that one. So I hope you're doing well, and we're going to talk about some more things next time. More things. And I hope I didn't bore you to death. No, just kidding. So we're just having a good time here. The first broadcast. And I want to thank you so much for joining. And we'll do another show soon. Just go ahead and send me some questions, and I'll be happy to answer them. Right now, I'm just getting my stuff together. So it's kind of like a little weird, but Rome wasn't built in a day. So we're going to do this step by step, and it'll take a little time. So please bear with me. Just send me some comments, some questions, and I would be happy to answer like I did with April. So thank you, April, for that. And we're going to go ahead and sign off pretty soon here. And I want to thank you so much for joining the chat. I could probably talk for a couple more hours, but I think maybe I will really bore you. But we'll do that next time, okay? So thank you so much. And we appreciate you joining the chat today. And please like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell.